be alive. NBA offseason? Fun time. So, that means obviously it's my time to come out of hibernation. GM Josh is back. Basically for the first time. But we are back today, guys, with a off-season video, our first off-season video on Just Hoops this year. We are jumping into it on the podcast, but this is our first time jumping into it on the videos. So, we're going to start off with the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns had an amazing season, best regular season record, first team in all of the NBA, first team in the West, but disappointing playoffs as they lose in 7 games in the second round to the Dallas Mavericks, and they struggled first round with the New Orleans Pelicans in 6 games. Now, their current roster reads Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, DeAndre Ayton, Cameron Payne, Cam Johnson, Landry Shamet, Dario Saric, who has been injured all year, but he will be back next year, JaVale McGee, Bismack Biyombo, Aaron Holiday, Torrey Craig, Ish Wainwright, Elfrid Payton, and Chandler Hutchinson. So, the thing that the team is in trouble with is free agency. Their unrestricted free agents go as Elfrid Payton, Bismack Biyombo, JaVale McGee. Their restricted free agents are Ish Wainwright, Aaron Holiday, and the big one, DeAndre Ayton. Now, since the end of the season, there has been a lot of talk that DeAndre Ayton has been in trouble with the Phoenix Suns. Now, I know what you're saying. Oh, can't he just come back? Give him the max contract. He deserves the max contract. No, he doesn't. He should be getting a lower contract, about high 20s, maybe reaching that 30 by the 4th year. Definitely not a 5-year deal. So, best case scenario, in my opinion, for the Phoenix Suns, they have to go back, first of all, to the ways of 2019 James Jones. Peak James Jones. Right when he comes into the league, right when he goes to the Phoenix Suns. He has to be in his peak form. You have to compile a list of guys you are willing to trade, from Cameron Payne to Landry Shamet, maybe even Dario Saric wasn't on the team this year. So maybe you reach out, maybe you go look for a team, 17th pick, 15th pick, maybe 20th pick, maybe 25th pick. You like someone in this draft. You did this last year. You traded your first round pick for Landry Shamet. So now maybe you could trade Landry Shamet, who was disappointing in the playoffs for you guys. You have to go back to your ways of finding those guys. You have to be savvy in the trade market and get these guys in the draft. That is my first thing for best case scenario. Second thing is you re-sign everyone, including DeAndre Ayton, hopefully not on a max deal of a max contract from a team that could give him the max contract. You should look to bring basically everybody back, bring this entire team back. They had the best record this year. Now, the one thing that you need to do is go out and find someone. I think Patty Mills fits into this category. Find someone to be a better backup point guard, and you can move Cameron Payne or keep Cameron Payne as someone, maybe you want to keep him as that spark plug. But I think that someone like Patty Mills will help towards the end of the season, how Chris Paul was kind of banged up a little bit, especially in the playoffs. You should have someone else that could relieve that pressure for Chris Paul. And since Cameron Payne went MIA all of a sudden in the playoffs, maybe Aaron Holiday is the guy. Maybe they like Aaron Holiday. I don't know. But I think you should go out and get someone like that Patty Mills who could come off the bench and provide that scoring plug that you were missing all playoffs. To go along with this, you need to continue to progress these young guys, not only for this next playoff run, which, let's be honest, Chris Paul is towards the end of his career. Maybe this could be one or two more years of Chris Paul, and that's basically it for him. So these 2 more years, you need to either put everything into it or Chris Paul's going to have a disappointing last 2 years. Now, you need to improve these young guys from Miles Bridges to DeAndre Ayton if you bring him back, which in this case scenario we will. Cam Johnson, if Landry Shamet stays, like all these young guys, Aaron Holiday, you have to continue to progress their progression in the NBA. So that would be the best case scenario, and I think that would maybe lose 1 or 2 wins, but you would stay basically the same if you are the Phoenix Suns. Now, because there is internal pressure inside of the organization of the Phoenix Suns, we decided to throw around some sign and trade ideas. Now, these first 2 are pipe dreams. I know when Jacob sees this, he's not going to be very happy that I'm bringing these up, but we have to because there is a possibility of these happening. Kevin Durant is upset with the Brooklyn Nets front office with Kyrie Irving not being re-signed yet, not being extended. He wants to play with his best friend, so he hasn't talked to them since they got swept. Now, that is an issue. So if you are James Jones, you are like, hey man, call my boy up. Call my boy up in Brooklyn. Yo, what's good? You would say, hey, on the table right now, take it or leave it. Mikal Bridges and DeAndre Ayton for Kevin Durant, straight up. It's successful with each team's cap salary, and this for the Phoenix Suns would bring in a superstar that you got 2 years with him. You do as much as you can with this current roster and just continue to push it. Try to get 1 championship out of those 2 years. Another one that probably won't happen. There's no real. The only thing that is possible here is that the Raptors are interested in DeAndre Ayton, but it would include Pascal Siakam and Svi Mikhailiuk for Jay Crowder, Torrey Craig, a 2025 first-round pick, and DeAndre Ayton. I'm not a fan of this trade. I just don't think it's going to happen. It was just something I was throwing around earlier when I was playing around with the machines. So, along with the internet, compiled some trade options that could be very possible here for the Phoenix Suns. Now, we're going to start in Indiana. The issues with these sign and trades are that DeAndre Ayton has to want to go to these places, and I'm not sure he would like to go to Indiana. So that's the only issue with this. But the Suns would be sending, obviously, DeAndre Ayton and Cameron Payne for Miles Turner, Chris Duarte, and the 6th overall pick in the 2022 NBA draft. Now, Chris Duarte, Indiana really likes the guy. I don't know if they would be willing to give him up. Something that I threw in there, if you really want DeAndre Ayton, hey man, DeAndre Ayton, Tyrese Halliburton, you throw those 2 together, man, you don't know what's going to happen. It could be something good. DeAndre Ayton could lay an egg like he did this year. You don't know, but that's good for Indiana. For Phoenix, this would be Miles Turner. It's a downgrade from DeAndre Ayton, obviously. Chris Duarte, an amazing scorer that you could bring off your bench behind Devin Booker. And the 6th overall pick, I like, even if you trade that pick back or just continue to trade, like I said earlier, someone else, you have campaign in this trade. Trade like Landry Shamet for the 22nd pick. Maybe if you're lucky enough, probably won't happen. Mark Williams will fall back to that spot. You never know. I'm a big Mark Williams fan, but that is the first sign and trade. I'm not the biggest fan of that one. Obviously, the Suns are not going to be on the winning end of a lot of these trades. Second trade, we have to go out to San Antonio. This is probably my favorite trade out of all of them for the Phoenix Suns. Now, this is probably my favorite trade for the Phoenix Suns. I think that it fits everything, and you kind of win. You don't really win, but you get your depth that you're looking for. Now, this trade includes DeAndre Ayton alone for Jakob Poeltl and Devin Vassell and the San Antonio Spurs first round pick for this year. Now, this trade with the San Antonio... Now, this trade with the San Antonio Spurs is probably my favorite one out of all of these possible trades that I cooked up myself, and like I said earlier, with the help of the internet. I think that this fits for the Suns. It adds depth, and it brings in a center that I really enjoy watching. So it is DeAndre Ayton straight up for Jakob Poeltl, Devin Vassell, and the 9th overall pick of this year's NBA draft. So this allows for the Suns to also get Mark Williams in the draft, but also bring in a very, very, very good defensive big, and I love watching Jakob Poeltl. He fits what the Phoenix Suns do. Could fit Chris Paul. He's a young center too. And then Devin Vassell, very good 3-and-D guy. Bring him in. You missed on him a few years ago in the draft. You decided to go with somebody else. We're not going to bring that up for you Suns fans. But you missed on Devin Vassell, so you get him back. You get him in. And you just add to that depth off of the bench. I think that would be the best one for the Suns out of all of these that we have here today. Now, my final one. We have to go to Atlanta for this last one. The Suns will be trading Elfrid Payton, Landry Shamet, and, once again, DeAndre Ayton for Clint Capella and Kevin Huerter. Now, this one is also interesting because Chris Paul, if you remember, when he was back in Houston, played with Clint Capella, and that is some of the best basketball Clint Capella has ever played. It does not answer your issues that you saw in the playoffs this year with not being able to guard the ball, basically defensive. He could protect the rim around the same as DeAndre Ayton, but it doesn't answer those questions of guarding the ball. Now, also, he is not as skilled offensively, but they really didn't throw DeAndre in the ball on the block either in the playoffs, so you're going to have to take that where it lies. Very good pick-and-roll guy. Chris Paul played with him, like I said. Some of his best stats that he put up in his career helped him get his big contract right now. Now, Kevin Huerter, I love Kevin Huerter. We all love Kevin Huerter, the White Mamba. You have to look at this guy. 3-point shooter. Suns did not have that. You're giving up Landry Shamet in this trade. That's an upgrade. 23-year-old Kevin Huerter, $14.5 million contract. Also, this adds up. Successful trade with both teams' salary caps, and I like it for Atlanta. You get DeAndre Ayton and Trae Young together, more skilled center. You lose Kevin Huerter. You lose your shooter. I like this for the Suns. It gives depth. But I just like that other pick in that San Antonio trade. So that is what my favorite would be. Now, to close out this episode, as a Suns fan, I said it, we need to bring back DeAndre Ayton. Nothing good comes out of anything else except if you can get Kevin Durant. 2 years with Kevin Durant, probably win a championship. You have the best team in the entire NBA. You have depth. You only give up. Mikal Bridges is a defensive player of the year, and that is tough, but also you keep Cam Johnson, you keep Jay Crowder, you keep JaVale McGee, you keep Cam Payne, you keep Landry Shamet, you keep all of these guys, all of these pieces, and get not arguably, but probably the best player in all of the NBA. That would be the only thing, but you got to go back to your 2018, 2019 ways of being savvy in the trade market, being savvy in free agency, bringing in guys that people don't think are great NBA players. Like Cameron Payne was basically out of the NBA when you brought him in the bubble, and now he is your backup point guard. He went MIA in the playoffs. So you have to bring somebody else in that you think could help you win a championship. You have to bring an energy. You have to bring a culture into your organization to help you win. I love the Patty Mills idea. This free agency, you can't really rely on a lot of stuff. There is DiVincenzo out there. There is a Thaddeus Young. There's a few solid pieces. I just really think that the Phoenix Suns need to go into this draft, get a pick, get a mid first round pick, late first round pick. If you like somebody, bring them in. If they need to be a project, bring them in. You traded your project in Jalen Smith this season for Torrey Craig, who is another guy that you can trade this offseason. This team has a lot of pieces. It was very deep. It was a very good basketball team. I don't think they should change much. They should bring some more guys in, but as best case scenario, a lot of the stuff we're seeing right now is basically helpless in Phoenix with DeAndre Ayton between not everybody on the team, but Monty Williams. And surprisingly, we're seeing the team stick with their head coach and Monty Williams. They are happy with him. They want him to stay, and DeAndre Ayton, unfortunately, is going to have to be the one to get the boot out of Phoenix. So, that is my Phoenix offseason preview, review, what I think should happen, some sign and trade ideas, everything. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed. As you see behind me, our fellow YouTube channel. You should just go right below this video and click on our YouTube channel and check it all out. It's pretty nice stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you next time for our next team.